I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Oh, here we are.
Where is that coming from?
Welcome to the chaos, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Vin and Sori stream. Can they hear that or just us?
Where is this coming from?
Oh, it's still happening. Yeah.
Okay, we stopped that one.
Babe, what's happening?
We can hear about this lady's email address.
Oh my goodness. Lord, hello.
Hello, dear listener.
So, buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and shall lead them.
We are at the very end of our Music in the Arts Festival.
Yes. It's a festival, you bitches.
Yep. The last song on the list is Cauldron Brood.
Caladan. I'm pretty sure
Caladan?
it's Caladan Brood.
Yeah. It was...
Wild Autumn Wind, Malisan,
Yep,
Book
here you go.
of the Fallen. Go ahead and read the people the thingamajiggy.
This was the True Cult's winner of the Cross Alliance Music in the Arts tournament. The song is inspired by the epic fantasy series Malazan Book of the Fallen by author Steven Erikson. The series depicts a period of turmoil in the history of the Malazan Empire and the other nations that share its world, such as Lether. The series incorporates a vast number of characters, human, immortal, and non-human, storylines, subplots, themes, and locations. Unlike most fantasy series, which depict one large story divided into lesser volumes, the Malaysian sequence mostly consists of single novels with their own self-contained storylines, with only subplots and some characters continuing between volumes. The closest thing to a main storyline in the book follows the machinations of an alien deity called the Crippled God, which has been imprisoned upon the Malaysian world and seeks to escape. What? Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
Thank you for that.
I would not
Kel.
want to watch a show series like that. I like keeping characters.
See, I was going to say the exact opposite. I was going to say they need to make a show series about that.
No, because then you're going to lose the little characters.
Well, no, there's subplots. There's some repeating characters.
Some.
But I think you engage with the character more if you know that he's gonna be gone.
Yeah, you might be right.
Anyway,
Let's go.
the time has arrived. Let's listen to it. Let's go. Cauldron Brood, Wild Autumn Wind. Let's go.
incredible.
This song is the chilliest song of all time. There are like literally 9 times when I got like super chilly. Like,
Really?
Like a cold. For the solo was crazy. The solo was Kirk Hammett Fade to Black crazy. The last 3.5 minutes of this song, bro, people had their opinions about the vocalist, and I'm not going to say you're dumb. It's an opinion. Like, I get it. It's an opinion. But at the same time, this is like they're a black metal band, right? I mean,
right.
You know, it's gonna sound like Cookie Monster, Smeagol, whatever you want to say. But the juxtaposition at the end, you know, as Kel pointed out, between the clean and the dirty vocals was insane. Yep. And you know, here's a sports analogy. Like, you do a lot of running plays because you're setting up a play action. Mm-hmm. You can't just do play action.
Right.
You can't just do a play action without the running play. A play action's a fake handoff and then you throw the ball. Like, you gotta set stuff up sometimes, especially if you're making a 13-minute song. Like, the whole thing was a setup.
Yep.
And then the second half was basically the byproduct of the first half of the setup, which then exploded into the ridiculousness that you heard at the end. Is that the last song on that track? I always check. It's the third song. It's like halfway through the record. How the hell
in the middle,
are you gonna follow that shit?
I don't know. It must be pretty smooth going all the way through. It's funny because at the beginning of the song I was thinking, oh, they needed some female vocals in here. But then by the end, when they had the clean and the dirty, it was great.
Yeah. Like, and again, like, there's nothing wrong. Like, if you don't like Smeagol type vocals, I get it. But for me, what I was seeing was there was a setup. They were setting us up for the second half of the song. Yeah. And they pulled that shit off incredibly, Lynn. Like,
Kel said there's only 2 people in this band.
Yeah. Like, I'm watching the comments, and somebody's like, "Yo, it's the best fantasy series I've ever read," and it wasn't just Kel saying that. Yeah. So I'm like, I don't even think the guy that said that is even in their alliance. But like, it makes me want to like go to Amazon and say, hey, can you make a video series about this shit? Like, and then this would have.
Oh, this would be a soundtrack in it. That'd be cool.
You have to have this as a soundtrack, right? Because nothing else that you do is gonna come even close. Mm-hmm. To what these guys just pulled off here. Mm-hmm. And like sonically, like lyrically, it was very ambitious. You're talking big things, kingdoms will rise and fall, like very big themes. And the music worked with that theme.
Totally. I agree with that.
Like, man, I mean, we're going to get to lyrics in a second. I mean, this is about, I'm assuming, the crippled god and he's trying to escape and shit, or maybe he's just giving his philosophy about, you know, how the world works or whatever. But for me,
remember they said in their write-up that it was about him getting trapped and him wanting to be set free, or him wanting to escape.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What?
Yeah, is this? I mean, I guess the song's about that. It was the last couple pair sentences. The closest thing to a main storyline in the book follows the machinations of an alien deity called the crippled god, which has been imprisoned upon the Marsland or whatever world and seeks to escape. So he's trying to get out of this world, but simultaneous to that, he's kind of giving his philosophy, right? The bones of beasts, the bones of kin become dust in the wake of the hymn. Mighty kingdoms rise, they'll all fall, no more than a breath of the wind. Spectres and gods adrift in the wild. Mournful wind, vast cycles unfold across a span of eons. Colossal keeps consumed and left as burial mounds, and even stars will fade into Empyrean shrouds. Yeah, I mean,
very encouraging.
I mean, it's all in that universe anyway, going into heat death at some point, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's all gonna, like, you know.
Remember that Sandman book you were reading?
Yeah.
Remember he was like trapped in that thing, but he kind of had like godlike.
Yeah.
And he was kind of messed up too.
He didn't have his helmet. The girl took his helmet. He's the dream guy.
Yeah, but wasn't he kind of messed up somehow?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that kind of
reminded me of that. He was trapped. The guy was trapped. They're actually making a video series about Sandman.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Which is going to be very interesting. Although some of the episodes I'm not going to I'm not going to watch.
Why? Aren't you sad?
No, some of them are pretty. The author is like crazy risky, but
he does stuff, and anyway, I'll talk to you about it later. But, stuff, kids involved and stuff. So.
Oh God.
But yeah, if you just scroll up like that, across the plains comes
drifts of sand from graves of water and tombs of man. The hollow
weight
weight
of
of history.
Desiccated and blowing free. And in the wake all is dust. Like, this is probably like the most nihilistic song of the night, but it was also the most beautiful.
They always seem to do that.
which to me is like the number one argument against ultimate
nihilism. I know.
Is the beauty of the music these people create.
I know. Oh,
but this
God,
is truly beautiful music, man. Mm-hmm. This is, again, like, why is this not on Christian radio? Number one, we don't have the concentration to hang out in a song for 13
and
minutes.
They said gods adrift in the wild.
The Bible talks about gods, too.
Yeah, but Christians don't talk about that.
Psalm 82. Our song mentions gods.
Yes, but are we typical? We curse on the channel. We always say we're not perfect Christians.
Yeah, I'm a bad Christian.
So, I mean, you can't use us. Don't use us as your example.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
In ashen vaults on parchment scrolls, the echoed verses state soft the toll.
That was one of the things for Lord of the Rings for me that I just loved. I love the like almost like quasi Elizabethan.
Oh, me too.
I'm
always going to be a fan of that.
It's so poetic.
Yeah.
And I wonder to myself, like, man, those people just talk like that on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, like French is a romance language. It's like, yo, my God, you talk like that all day?
One time we were arguing, and I thought, man, I wonder what would happen if he spoke to me in how do you say it? Elizabethan? What?
Elizabethan, yeah.
Yeah, English. While we were having a disagreement, if it would change the nature of the disagreement.
It probably would.
Yeah.
It probably would.
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably would.
Anyway.
So this guy's trapped. So maybe it's this alien, the crippled god, like he's trapped. So he
wants to get out.
He has to see all of the cyclical
rise
and fall of all these, powers and whatever.
Yeah, temples crumble as the great wheel turns, ground to dust.
The wheel of time,
monuments,
right?
Yeah,
and like
everything falls the same.
He's got to sit there. He's got to sit there and watch it.
Earth and sky enrobed in deathless void.
Yeah.
Endless night.
Yeah.
But didn't you think it was so beautiful when it said, it talked about fall. Well, it talked about autumn, but...
Command F it and just type fall.
I don't know if it was autumn or if it was fall. Oh, whoops. That's not Command F.
Autumn or fall? Worm of autumn.
It's in there twice. Excellent. That's probably going to be.
He said, the worm of autumn claims its...
Oh, and it's in the title.
Did you see it?
No. Is that it claims its final what? Yes.
Its final throne.
I guess that was it.
Claims its final throne.
But I didn't hear worm of. I
winter.
only heard autumn claims its final throne. And it just reminded me of the last... This doesn't apply for every state, but it applies here. When fall is at its peak, there is one final day when it is the most glorious colors you've ever seen.
Facts.
And then the next day,
Facts.
They've lost a lot of their leaves, they've browned, they're just
over.
Literally, and you don't know when that last day is.
No, you don't.
So you're always looking, every day I'm looking at them and I'm like, oh, maybe this is the last day. Oh, this is gorgeous. Or maybe it'll be even sweeter tomorrow. And then the next day it could be even brighter. And then eventually it's the last day. But I have never known it was the last day on the last day.
Yeah. Yeah, and that I interpreted the worm of autumn as to be winter. Because a worm is something that goes in there and spoils something. Mm-hmm. Because autumn is usually known as the most beautiful...
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Time in the cycle.
And, autumn is?
Yeah. It's just the leaves and at least up here in the Northeast for sure. Autumn and then the beginning of spring. But autumn is just aesthetically, it's massively beautiful.
It really is.
If you go to
Bates,
Bates College...
Beautiful.
And you get all those trees,
giant oak trees.
Yeah, and they're changing, and you got the grass, but the snow hasn't completely, so you still get the green.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
It's massively, but there's a worm inside of that because it's changing into winter, and it's all death, and the trees are all falling, and it's weird because you have evergreen trees, which have, you know, they're obviously metaphorical import about staying power, and there's a beauty in that, but those evergreens can't fuck with those.
No, they can't.
Not even close, man.
They can't, but I always thought it was just something I always thought when I was a child. I thought, those evergreens, they don't get any traction during the summertime. We have no interest in them. You know, we're just loving the oak trees. But then in the winter, when the snow falls on them and they've kept their shape and they're all full of snow, and then you have the Christmas tree, you know, they get their time. They get their time to shine. But yeah, during the summertime, you're just like, what are these?
Yeah. But I mean, you know what Jesus said, like, don't worry about what you'll wear, you know, and he says, you know, Solomon in all his glory, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Solomon in all his glory wasn't dressed as brilliantly as the lilies of the field or whatever. Yep. And it's like, that's kind of, I mean, look at this shit. This is autumn in Maine, y'all.
This is a very typical site right here too. I'm gonna send this
it's real. It's not like, you know, one of those rare things that, you know, Sori looks at or whatever. Like
that Sori looks at.
You know how like you always have these autumn pictures and they're really cool or whatever, but they look almost like mythical because they're so. But like these are legit, like what it looks like.
Put this one up there too. This is like. That's the look. I've seen this so many times in Maine.
Yeah, like that's just a normal walk in the autumn right there.
Yep.
That's just normal.
It's like it's all burnt.
It's such
but in a beautiful way.
Yeah. It's such a crazy. Autumn is makes you think about you a lot, for sure.
Me?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'd love to know why.
I'll probably never tell you.
I'll tell you something about yourself in regards to autumn. I have always hated autumn because it was so depressing to me. Fall depressed me, and going into winter was just super depressing. It's just so long in the winter here. But I enjoy the fall. I love the fall now. The colors of the fall, I enjoy it more now that you and I are together. Which is interesting because fall kind of brings on your depression. But still, there's something about fall that I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I'm able to appreciate it now.
It's a double-edged sword to a degree, but it's one of the more beautiful things. For sure.
Absolutely.
And it's so funny looking at Kel. Look what he said. Make sure Dorian doesn't see this. It's a running debate that we've been having in the house.
Yep.
About, you know, Florida versus, you know, Maine and all that. But yeah, it's like the cycle of life. But that last part, man, with where they were singing, that shit was
beautiful.
That shit was
going back and forth like that.
Unbelievable song, man. And you know, it had the atmospherics, it had everything in it, man. It was epic. What do you give the song?
It's a 9.87.
This is a 10.5 for me. It's a 10.5 for me.
It's a heavy hitter night for you.
Really good song. Really good song.
Yes, thank you to the True Cult for bringing this to our attention.
Yeah, and shout out to the big homie Kel. You can always rely on Kel, though. Kel always. I don't think there's ever been a time when Kel's ever recommended something that wasn't like
really good. Yeah,
like classic good.
Yeah.
No disrespect to anybody else. Shout out to Kel. But such a damn good song. This song's an 11 for Kel, for sure.
Oh yeah, sure.
10.5 for me. I mean, it's unbelievable song. There you are.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, you guys.
Thanks for hanging out with us, you guys were great.
Taking part in the Music in the Alts tournament.
Yes, there you are, dear
and
listener.
for all of you who participated in it, all of our patrons who took part in the long process of dwindling it down to the finalists.
Yeah.
We appreciate your patience and your work on that, and we definitely appreciated it. When can you just throw that thing up on there from the messengers? Go in messages. This thing, put that up there.
Yeah.
This is a breakdown of what they did to get these songs and how it journeyed its way through. Just absolutely incredible. You can tell that they put a ton of time and thought into it.
Yeah.
And it does not go unnoticed or unappreciated. We really thought that was pretty amazing. I for one was amazed that we have such a cool crew. Our channel, has brought a lot of awesome people out of the woodwork and into the public eye so we can all talk to each other.
Yeah.
And seeing stuff like this is like, holy shit, like some people got together and nobody paid them to do this, and they got this list, they made this list, they worked it out, and they came in and they worked together as a team. And I just think that that's unbelievable that people who have never met each other are working together and stuff. And part of that is like, because it's our channel, which is really cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
shout out to our channel.
So shout out
Big ups to the big homie. And
shout out to all of us.
All of them. And like, I know it went 3 hours for only 4 songs. I get it. But at the same time, like, I also we respect the amount of time it took for them to do what they did.
Exactly.
And so
exactly.
to me, it's like, people have put up with our long-winded whatever's reviews for years, and and then they come with this really crazy and what is it? At the end of the day, it's like you're trying to share music, something important to you inside your soul, or whatever you want to call it, whatever worldview we're from, and like you want your friends to hear it, and then the community as a whole to hear it. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's interesting too. What do you guys call it? A death song, or the death to the artist death song?
Yeah, the death of the author.
The death of the author.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm sure there's been times where we've been all sharing music together, and that from that, a song became like a death to the author
We've
song.
murdered
You know what I
many
mean?
a guitarist.
Yeah, exactly. But then we all like participated in the same kind of understanding or interpretation of the lyrics together. So it kind of makes us even more of a crew.
Death of the
like
Author
that,
is obviously a name for one of the songs of our
absolutely.
in our band.
Absolutely.
Show.
Thanks for hanging
Shout out to Kel, shout out to Archero.
It was snowing today in Maine.
Much love to all you
I
beautiful
enjoyed
people, all you alliance leaders. We will see
Yep.
you bums tomorrow.
Yes.
On YouTube hasn't shut us down yet, so we're in pretty good shape. That last copyright strike is going to fall off in another 30 days, inshallah.
Oh God.
So we can continue to go 30 days and dodge those bullets. I'll be eternally grateful.
We do.
Having said that, dear listener, love your neighbor, take care of each other, listen to good music, and look at the fall leaves. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.